No, he was singing.
He's singing and pressing the weeks.
Oh, man, and it all comes out.
What were you singing?
Zombies 2.
Say what?
Not Zombies 2.
Shami's too.
Not Zombies.
Jami's too.
Z.
Z.
ZOMMB.
Zombies?
Zombies 2. Come out.
What were you singing in the bedroom this morning?
Yeah, Zombies 2 is a movie 6 hours, right?
Okay.
That's focus, man. That is focus.
This morning,
Yeah.
you were singing. Somebody once told me.
Yeah, it's Drake songs.
Shrek song.
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah, it hit my head. He's playing Puppy in the car. Phone.
What's this?
We're recording the wrong thing here.
Oh, wrong group. Oh, they are. Got his
There he
face.
is.
Okay, get in here. I got blue light on me.
Got you.
Looks like the Blue Man. Blue Man Group.
We the Blue Man Group.
You're
Okay,
funny.
so now, would you please?
Yep.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And if you... Mike's music.
Oh, yeah, Ryan.
Here we go. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. What's happening, Ryan?
Yeah, good.
You sound good.
Good to have you back,
Sound good.
Yeah. I get back in on 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah, 5 months the last day, Heroes. 5 days, months.
Ah.
And I get a day off. So like,
Welcome back to Just These Guys, you know. On today's show,
Has that been there for weeks?
that skull.
The Australia.
Oh,
Cap.
no, the Australia hat is new to the skull.
Aha.
But if you ever look in the videos, there's usually a different hat on the
gotcha.
skull.
Okay. See, so many things going on that I'm oblivious to.
That's what I said last week in the video. If you've watched it yet,
Yeah.
Lance sets up the cameras, gets the focus, gets the Mike. He arrives.
Oh, I'm such good help.
So, quickly, on today's show, in addition to everything else, we will be talking about what it's like doing a podcast after a whole year, maybe discuss some ideas for next year. We're going to touch on Mike's program, Heart for the House.
Yeah.
So you want to check that out. We're going to have some thoughts about Christmas and then whatever else comes to mind, and probably a little wisdom thrown in there.
A little wisdom would be good.
A little wisdom would be good.
Oh, sure.
And
And a little bit of this.
hang on.
Bang, bang, bang. Boom. He's typing. He's typing. Wow, wow, wow. So, Ryan, you were singing earlier today?
yeah.
And what were you singing?
Yeah, it's Strix and social songs and everyday MCA and the ACR.
Were you singing loud and proud?
Yeah.
Could they hear you all the way upstairs?
Yeah, he's coming again in an hour.
Oh. Well, I always enjoy when you all put videos together and I get to check you out singing and worshiping and all that good stuff.
Yeah. He's coming again MCR tonight.
That's right. He's coming again. He's coming back. Your dad's up to something.
Yeah, he's biting pepper.
Yep. Yeah, he is.
Can you read that?
Can I read that?
No.
Listen, your chicken scratch is hard to read right side up.
That's called Dr. Scribble.
That's right.
Let's go forward.
Oh, here we go. Now I've got something to say. We need some kind of funeral music. Do you have funeral music?
No.
No, that's not it.
What do we need funeral music for?
Well, so I didn't tell you before because I didn't want to interrupt the routine kind of thing going on. But I have officially, other than breaking it with this one cup, this is the last cup of caffeine. I've already been off caffeine. I've already gone through the headache withdrawal. I've already gone through all the withdrawal. I am caffeine free. And you know what? I have far fewer episodes of AFib. Turns out it wasn't stress. Turns out it wasn't, physical issues going on with my heart. It was caffeine. An overdose of caffeine, by the way.
Oh, that is so typical.
Yeah. Because I would leave here, as an example, on a Tuesday. I would leave here. I would go to the office. I'd make myself a cup of coffee. So that's my second cup of coffee. And then after I would get done with that, I would do, a few things here and there. And I would feel like, hey, I need another cup of coffee. I always ended up having, 4 or 5 total cups of coffee. But that was before I would have a Coke Zero. You know how many people actually can drink Coke Zero and say that it's good? Not very many
There's
that I
12
know.
of you.
Yeah, not very many that I know. But I got used to the Coke Zero because I wanted less sugar. I'm all about the
Got
health.
your own little Facebook group.
Yeah, I'm all about healthy living. And so I have gotten rid of caffeine and I feel way better. I can guarantee you that.
I can't tell you how many clients I've had who've come in for anxiety, and the only thing we needed to do was end the caffeine.
Get rid of the caffeine.
And it's not that caffeine is bad,
Sure.
in moderation, but they were, hammering 2 pots of coffee a day plus 42 sodas plus a Rockstar and a Monster.
Yeah.
Doc.
Drink caffeine all day long, feeling a little sluggish. Throw back a 5-hour energy. Yeah. Not unheard of. So, yeah, I feel good.
That's great because one of the things I wanted to talk about today, as we talk about, what it's been like this last year doing a podcast and all that's entailed, but then less reflection because I'm not a big yesteryear kind of guy.
Yep.
But where do we go from here?
Sure.
Lessons learned. Hit the record button.
Mm-hmm. Is it recording? Yeah.
A little red light's flashing.
Yeah. That's always a good sign.
And I think I'm in focus.
Yeah.
But yeah, where do we go from
good.
here as we move forward? Any ideas about what we could do, make it better, make it more different? Which, just to kind of reflect on the what's gone on this past year. I checked the analytics this morning. Australia's slipping.
No.
Australia's slipping because Canada is rising up.
Oh, goodness.
Our viewers in Canada are gaining ground, and England. But Australia still holds the number 1 spot outside the U.S.
Gotcha.
And the overall viewership is growing steadily. both on the YouTube and on the podcast. Beyond subscriptions, viewerships are growing.
Yeah.
So, people
That's awesome.
may not be scribing or following,
Yeah.
but the viewership is steady and increasing. So,
Yeah. Which is amazing, especially considering it really feels like we're just figuring this out. Just really starting to get into a comfort level of being able to create something that is of value.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, remember how we started this?
Oh, yeah.
You were sitting in my office and you said, I think we ought to do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. And 2 weeks later, we're here.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, hey, what is all this? What are we doing? And you're like, a podcast. So it's your idea.
Well, I watch YouTube channel videos how to do a podcast, how to grow a podcast. And we did nothing that they said do.
No. No.
This is when we would be starting if we followed the template of how to begin and start a brand new podcast.
Sure.
We would have gotten material.
Yeah.
We would have bought the equipment. We would have tested it out. We would have made a few practice runs. We would
Yeah.
got our marketing plan together.
Zero practice runs.
No.
It was literally like you used to say, and probably still do, shoot and aim.
Ready, shoot,
Yeah.
aim.
Yeah.
But the idea behind the podcast, the original idea, which is continuing forth to a large degree, was simply that you and I sitting down talking each week,
Yeah.
and something interesting or unique would come out of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought you had was other people might be interested in listening to that dialogue. And so there's really not a lot of scripting or anything to prepare, because what we were trying to capture was just us talking. And
Conversation.
I think it took about 6 to 8 months for both of us to become comfortable enough with the microphones and the idea that other people are listening to this, for us to actually be ourselves as we are in the office just hanging out.
Yeah.
The first 6 months we were a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, the difference between us just sitting around having a conversation that's not recorded is what I had to do, and you probably did as well. I had to get rid of some filters that were going on. All these questions that I would have before I would even say anything.
Right.
Is that going to sound stupid?
Yeah.
Did I understand what he said correctly? Is this even going to fit in the context?
Sure.
Can I say this in a different way? And you can't talk really much if all of that is going on in your head. And so, yeah, I just had to get rid of that. And that's getting rid of fear. That's getting rid of, apprehension and inhibition and everything else you want to call it. And just talk. Just have a conversation like you would normally have a conversation.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I had to learn through all that, just chill. Just quit trying to be someone who, well, let's put it this way. I had to put everybody out of my mind and just be here.
Sure.
And mostly the biggest thing, though, is enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Enjoy it. That's the way I try to live my life as much as possible, is just enjoying it, no matter what's going on, because it's choice.
Sure.
And I get to enjoy every single day. I got up this morning, and the very first thing that came right to my mind was, God, thank you for this day.
Awesome.
Thank you for the opportunity to experience you today. That's what came out of my mouth. And so, yeah, that's a good day.
That's the difference between you and I. Because first thing that went to my mind this morning was, what are we going to do today, Pinky?
Yeah.
What are we going to do today, Bring? Same thing we do every day, Pinky.
That's right.
What's
What
that?
about about you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Try to take over the world.
Yeah, I went here and being out in the clean and this and drink something, and then he walks out in the gym. Monday, I got busy. I got this, and clean the other house, being house in the living port, and then the walks out in the money, and I got pay rent. I got four. Them in the family house, in Texas, and the Wausau family house next year. Point.
That's a lot to do on a Monday.
That is a whole lot.
Yeah, I have 5 days.
And you've got a schedule for every single day?
Yeah, so this is this cancel line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. 5 days a month.
5 days on that list.
And you come back again and again.
And again and again.
And it comes back around.
Story of my life.
You make another list, right?
Yeah.
Each week. That's awesome.
Good job, bud.
Good plans.
Boom. You the man.
Thanks for sharing, Spud.
You the man.
Looking good. Big plans for 2024. Gotta love it.
And what are those plans? What do you think we could do different to make this whole experience more enjoyable, listenable, useful to the listener?
Well, I don't know how challenging it would be considering we're experiencing it right now, but I would really like to see some times where we are bringing in some other perspectives, like bring some guests in, maybe even a few folks that are local that are kind of listening, hanging out. They're the part of the audience, and get some, I think about throw a name out there. I think about, should I throw a name out there? Maybe I should throw a name out there.
That's been you and whoever.
Yeah,
right?
no, maybe I shouldn't. But, well, it's an example. Someone like Mr. Eric, he could come in and he would enjoy it. And I think he would be, we get some valuable perspective out of him. He's gone through some major changes that have really been so amazing to watch.
Sure.
And you talk about breaking out of some old restrictions, self-restricted stuff that, like fear and just not going after life the way we, talk about going after it and are trying to do ourselves. And he'd be good.
He made a decision, light bulb came on, and he said, go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's just been working extremely hard. And he's asked, he's offered to come on and talk about that. So
yeah. Oh, I think it'd be awesome. And
so we could have guests.
Yep.
Guests.
Guests. We're going to continue from time to time to create this hit song that, it feels a little presumptuous to say right out of the gate, let's just go ahead and make a hit song. But it's all about expectation. It's just establishing, why not?
Right.
Let's do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it. So I'll bring the guitar here on occasion when we got some progress. The only progress that I made this week on the song is that what I thought was the first verse is actually the chorus.
Ah.
Every time I would sing it, either out loud or in my head, it felt like, okay, well, that I just brought people in on the middle of a conversation. And so, the whole idea of I think, therefore you are, that's chorus.
I can see that.
Yeah. And so now where do we start? Where do we build up to that? So, but anyway, doing that, that's a 2024 project. Gonna have us a tune to present.
I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah, that's called Dr. Scratch.
What are you? Changes for 2024.
That's funny.
Something? Do what?
The one person who people can usually read their writing is themselves.
I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Oh! I got
Let me
it.
see if I can figure it out. Which one?
Where it says two. You will never get that.
It looks like partners.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's not.
No.
What is it?
And this is the thoughts are like bing, bing, bing. And if I don't write them down, they just keep they're like a Super Bowl. They just go on down the street.
I get it. Yep.
Two-parters.
Oh, two-parters.
Two-parters.
Well, that's actually what it says. I was thought you just left the N out.
Yeah, I did. Two-pointers, two-parters. But maybe figuring out a way to.
The rest of the story?
We could do the rest of the story, or that requires a little bit of organization and pre-planning on our part.
Yeah.
But these are 40 to 50 minutes long.
Right.
And some people.
Attention span's just a little less.
Right. I mean, when you're thumbing through, if you're on a
busy.
drive to work, or if you're driving somewhere, you kind of thumb through and you look, there's 10-minute ones, there's 15-minute ones, there's 1 hour ones, and a lot of times people are making their choice based on the length of time.
Oh yeah.
So if we could, find a way to make these two-parters.
Okay.
So there's a, episode 44A and an episode 44B, and make them.
That'd be good.
And that way, throughout the week, you've got two to listen to at that point, and they're coherent.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't.
Yeah, I wonder if 15, 20 minutes isn't kind of the ideal amount of time. Like a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Kind of that whole. I've been listening to TED Talks lately. Love them. Just love them. Watched one on something that we could actually talk about at some point. I had mentioned to you talking about the terror management theory.
Yes.
I'm fascinated, and I mention it all the time. I try to tell our church as much as often as I can, hey, you're going to die. And if that's not presented, very well, it can be quite depressing. But
hey, you're going to die.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, welcome to church. You're going to die. But the reality is we are.
Yeah.
And so I ran across this because it's the first time I've heard of it, theory or terror management theory. And so I just started digging in a little bit and reading about it, and just the psychology behind our fear of death, and that it can be both negative and positive.
TNT.
TMT. Yeah.
I'm afraid of dying.
Right. I mean, it keeps us. Ask if you went out and did a poll of, say, 10 people. I bet out of 10 people that you asked, do you have life insurance? There'd be one that actually had it. That's even to that level, we deny it.
Sure.
And we don't want to think about it. And so, I think it's something that's kind of fascinating and can become a healthy thing, though, if it's processed correctly.
Well, existential psychology is kind of built on that premise that there's this existential angst. Where do we fit in the universe, the bigger scheme of things, and our mortality that we know in the back of the head one day, back of our head, one day we're going to die, and that really drives a lot of our motor. And there's an acceptance element to the existential crises that, hey, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's a fact of life.
Yep.
And being able to kind of navigate that existential angst and reaching some general conclusions is freeing. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I could die.
Yeah.
And I think that's what allows, at the bigger level, that's what allows, like daredevils to do what they're going to do is, I could die
anyway. Yeah.
I could die walking across the street.
Yep.
Our vet driving to work, car crash, dead.
Yeah.
We don't know.
She was your vet?
Yeah, sisters.
Man, I know so many people that they're veterinarians.
Sure. And just, everybody's shocked and surprised. And it's that's the angst. And so when we get a life, ending disease or life-threatening disease, the fear of dying, really overwhelms us. And I'm not saying, accept that you're going to die any moment now and then start running out and doing crazy things. But the rational acceptance of there's a time clock, and instead of worrying about fundamental number 3, being afraid of,
Yep.
and then trying to do things to prevent all of that, accept it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Or worrying about it, like you say, prepare for it. Get yourself prepared.
Well, it just makes sense that you're going to die. So are you going to leave dependents behind you?
Right.
Do you have some life insurance? Is your mortgage taken care of? Will your wife and kids be able to carry on in your absence? And once, those are the plan, fundamental number 3, you could worry or you could plan. I could worry about dying, or I could plan for my death. That's kind of morbid, but wills, life insurance, those are very important, responsible steps for us to take. But at a lower level, I could get on stage and die.
I could die one heartbeat from now because of this caffeine.
Not actual death. I could go up on stage and crickets.
Oh.
I'm dying up here.
Yeah.
It's that fear of something bad happening,
Okay.
as opposed to, look, I got another good 30 years on this planet, 40 years on this planet. What am I going to do with them? I'm going up on that stage, and there's going to be a few hundred people in the audience, 400 or 500 watching me. What am I going to do with that opportunity? So it's the opposite of the angst.
Yep.
Is the excitement for what could be.
Yep. I believe his character's name was Old Red, or close to that anyway, on Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman. He said, you either get busy living or you get busy dying. And so that's the whole idea. This was in part what it was encouraging me to break out of a fear factor and not wanting to do a podcast. And I said, let's do a podcast to the wrong person. Because I would still, I'm just saying, I would still be in the thinking about it mode. Yeah. I'd still be busy dying on living on fear.
Let's do a podcast. Where did Lance go?
Write that down real quick. Living on Fear. That's another song. Either line or... Yeah, thank you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Living on a prayer.
Living on fear. But yeah, I was overdosing on it. And so you just got to get yourself lined up with the type of person that doesn't realize you're still in the thinking about it stage. And
and that brings us to the scripture for the day, Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise, and you get wiser. Associate with fools, and foolish things happen. Something like that. So it's the clock is the jury is still out as to who you're walking with right now. But
well, I would say for at least a half an hour or an hour on a Tuesday morning, I'm walking with the wise. Old Ryan, walking with the wise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I went here, and I went in. Let's see. I went in mom and dad in a week support, and help them. It's 2 years, 10 months ago. I went here and I'm out, and then it passed away, and Texas is old. 10 months ago.
you are a man of focus.
Yeah.
You can focus.
Reminds me of a song that used to be, we had a band called 420. And we had 2 original songs. And I didn't write either one of them.
Okay.
Just to put that out there. But there was one of the songs called I'm Out. And he said, I'm out, right? Said, I'm out, running away. I'm out, Nothing to say, hey, and I'm out. I'm going today, and I'm out.
You're ready.
Heart for the House.
Yes, sir. We officially launched it. Even though we had people already given to it, we've got people now that are officially pledged and in. And I'm excited to see what together we're going to be able to do with this and watch God do with this and knock out a debt, a mortgage that is going to free us up to be able to do so much amazing, incredible, just ministry for the city. Be able to invest in lives of people who are walking in darkness and are wanting to know where the light is. And so I'm super excited about it and cannot wait. Is this your pledge?
That's our pledge. It's set up starting. It's already set up, ready to go in the bank.
Beautiful.
A couple of bits of advice for people who are considering doing this. If you can, go to your bank account and set it up for auto draft,
Yep.
and you won't miss it.
Yeah.
You literally won't miss it.
Yep. That's what we do.
You look in your bank account, you see what you got, and you're mentally making budget just right then and there. What do I have?
Mm-hmm.
You don't miss that 25. And then if 25 is a big dent in your budget, do take a look. I've known so many people who cleaned up their budget simply by packing a lunch.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you go to McDonald's and you're dropping, $12, $15. If you're a laborer, if you're a construction worker, you're not getting the 2 items off the dollar menu.
No.
You're getting the meal deal, French fries, soda, maybe throwing an extra cheeseburger.
Right.
And you're going to spend $12 to $15 a day.
Yeah, easily.
And 10 days, that's $150. 20 days, that's...
In 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
$15 times 10.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't think about it because, especially if we're doing cash, it's in our pocket and we just grab it, or we swipe our card. We never look at what's in the bank account. So,
Yep.
and that's where all these marketing schemes get you now. Is that it's only $9.99 a month, or it's only $3.99 a month if you set it up on auto draft. And the reason why they want it on an auto draft is they know you're going to forget about it.
Sure.
And then there's another service that they come in and you download their app and they look at your bank account and clean up all your auto drafts.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be paying for this? You paid for this for 12 months, but there's no viewership.
You even know you're paying on
Do
that?
you know you're paying for this? So get that, set your bank account up on an auto draft. Trust me, you will forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is a budgetary issue, then take a look at some of the small luxuries you're buying. I swear to God, that Starbucks over by your church is selling crack out the window.
They got to be.
There's like 30 cars.
3-car wrecks every 4 hours.
It's crazy how much Starbucks is selling over there. And if you just twice a month, don't go to Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a month, make your own coffee.
Yeah.
For the price of one Starbucks, we purchased a month's supply of coffee.
Exactly. Yep.
And it takes a whole 5 seconds of effort to push the button.
Yeah. There's so much that we can do that we don't realize.
Now, be honest. I know this is your last cup of
And the
coffee
difference.
ever, but the coffee I've been serving you, is that as good as the Starbucks?
Oh, heck yeah. It's better.
Better.
I've never really been much of a Starbucks fan. It's just, it's a richer, deeper blend than I like. So, but there's something about it. Like you said, they must be putting crack in it because there's a line around the building.
Definitely.
Nonstop. And also at the Dunkin', That's not too far away, and also at the
Scooters.
Dutch's. That's not too far away, and the Scooters. That's not too far away. Man,
I drove by Scooters the other day. They had 2 lines going. People were out in the street, the tails of their truck out in the street, jamming up traffic. And I buy all the coffee you want, buy all the luxury items you want, eat wherever you want. But if you want to see revolutionary change in your life, I forget the scripture, but bring into
the storehouse.
bring into the storehouse 10%, and see if I don't pour out riches upon you. Take your paycheck, pull 25 out, set it aside, set up the auto draft, and then enjoy everything you have after that. And if you got to give up 1 Starbucks a month,
and just know that little sacrifice is a huge sacrifice, because you're sacrificing it for the cause of Christ. We're seeing this really bring just awareness to giving, to generosity throughout the church. And we've got some people that are giving $1,000 a month to this. And so when that's all combined, I'm confident that because with God all things are possible, we're going to see, I think not only we're going to see this debt paid off, but we're going to see abundance over and above. And so beyond this campaign, we're going to see an increase in the generosity that is going to carry us to ministries that we don't even know yet we're going to be able to be involved in. And so, the church is going to make, again, we're not here to make a point. We're here to make a difference.
sure.
And so, exciting.
Heart for the House. Go to the website. Tell it.
Yep. You go to gpwichita.com and you can find a Heart for the House tab.
And if you're sitting there in England,
Yep.
and you want to support this man and check out his on the YouTube channel, there's a Minute with Mike, and there's some just mic drop videos, and I'll load some more up over the next couple of days. But this is his message. This is what he's doing in his church. I'm trying to think of all the things that you guys have done just randomly. Somebody gets an idea, hey, and then they're down at the school with 300 pairs of shoes for 300 kids, giving them brand new tennis shoes for Christmas.
Yep.
Doing people's laundry.
Every month we do people's laundry for free to them.
Free to them.
Yep.
They roll up to a laundromat, barbecue, all the soaps, and they just go in with the quarters, and they pay for everybody's laundromat for a few hours. Free laundry, and there's been so many stories that come out of that people being helped. That one lady who had to make a decision about, she had $20, and it was her son's birthday the next day. And does she buy her son a birthday present, or does she wash his clothes so he can go to school with clean clothes? Yeah.
I went a long time ago, in October 18, a long time ago. I went giving stuff in Chris gummies and shirts and advance the next year.
Next year.
Nice.
Good job. So the ministry that you guys have, these guys don't just sit up there in the church and talk amongst themselves and huddle up and shut everybody else out. They open the doors. They draw people in. I've mentioned on here before, call Mike, where you at? And he's helping some guy move into an apartment because he helped a homeless guy get a job, get an apartment, get off the street. And nobody knows. Nobody knows he's doing this.
Yeah. Well, it's not me. We are blessed to be a blessing.
And do y'all still do the furniture?
Yep. We've got a partnership with a gentleman who does furniture and clothes and...
No, I meant the moving.
Oh, like helping people move?
The household moving.
That's when it's needed. Phone calls are made and a group is put together and boom.
Yeah, somebody needs to move from one residence to the other. There's make a phone call and 20 guys show up with pickups.
Yeah, it's so cool. You get 20 people that show up to help somebody move, you can literally, we've done it.
Yeah.
We have moved an entire like 3-bedroom house out and then in the new place in 3 hours. It's crazy.
It's like ants.
Something that would have taken a whole weekend.
Sure.
It's boom. It's
And
done.
they'd have been worn out and exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and some of them are, just don't have the capability.
Sure. No.
They're going to have to hire somebody to move.
Yep.
It's not a matter of it's more convenient. to
Tons
call
of
the church.
money spent on that.
And then y'all used to do it. I don't know if you have any plans to do it again in the future, but the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we will most likely bring that back. That was
But yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan went with this Operation
turkey sandwich.
Turkey Sandwich. Ryan went with this one year, and what the church does is everybody shows up at church, and it's like 150, 200 people, just like wham, on a Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
They're all in there making turkey sandwiches and packing these lunches, and then they spread out across the city to everybody who has to work on Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're handing out turkey sandwiches to express their appreciation for keeping the
Yep.
stores open, keeping the gas stations open
Yep.
for the convenience of everybody else.
Yep.
And also to say we're thinking of you. On your Thanksgiving Day, you can't be with your family, but our family can be with yours.
Right.
So there's so many amazing things that the church does outside the building, but a lot of that, honestly, is limited by budget, and a big portion of the budget is the mortgage. And if they can get mortgage free, then the money that comes in the door, that's more that can go back out to feed people, to house people, to help people. Because y'all sure ain't investing it in your video cameras and sound equipment.
Yeah, you tell me about it.
No, it's been burr under my saddle because when you're in the building, it is a phenomenal experience that you cannot explain to another human being. Being inside that building with the people and the music and the singing and the lights and the message and you just, it's a different experience. It's a beautiful experience, but then
Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about it.
thoughts about Christmas?
Coming up
Well, yeah,
or last Christmas,
4 or 5 days from now.
Eve. Going to be phenomenal. 4 o'clock, 5:30, and 7 o'clock.
That's
If you're
Saturday?
in the Wichita area. Yes, Eve is Christmas is on Monday. 23rd is our Eve services, and just got some really cool stuff. Going to end it all with a candlelight ceremony, kind of a traditional thing. But yeah, it's going to be good.
And that's such a brilliant idea. Because there are so many families that are split,
Sure.
and these families are having to decide, or they do the whole 4 Christmases thing where,
Exactly.
inside of one day they're hitting, 4 places, 2, 3 different churches, depending, and to just back it up a couple of days.
Yep.
And the eve of Christmas Eve.
Exactly.
And everybody can come in and be relaxed and chill and hang out and celebrate and worship
Yeah.
with no pressure.
Yep. I love that it's on Saturday this year.
And it's on Saturdays.
Yep. It'll be packed and it'll be an amazing experience.
Will there be a Sunday morning service after?
Nope.
No
Nope.
Sun-
We're still keeping everybody freed up just to do their family thing. If they need to travel, they won't think about missing it. Yeah. Eve is it. And then one service at 10 a.m. on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So check those things out.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? I know when you think all week long and you get up in the morning and you're driving over here, you've got so much material in your mind.
I know. And then I come in here and I'm just enamored by the environment. It all goes away. Now, this has been kind of an end of the year kind of a thought to wrap up. It's been amazing. I know we've got another one we're going to do here before the end of the year, but I'm very thankful for this. And again, I'm just really feeling like we're just getting started in this deal. And
And I really do want to thank you for what you did last week on the podcast. Because I've gotten to see that, to my chagrin, so much that you can just make shit up on the guitar. It's like, you think it and then you play it, or you hear it and then you play it, and your musical talent and abilities are incredible. And most people don't get to see that. You know, there's this great band behind you. When you walk off the stage, they don't know what kind of a musician you are. And really, honestly, we were laughing about it. But so we do this on Tuesday morning. So a couple of days before, Mike sent me a video clip with the song. But it was completely different than the song you open up playing in here. And there's probably 2 or 3 versions that have floated through your mind. And to be able to hear those and to see the work that goes on and that musical creativity, and just to enjoy the quality of playing that you have, it inspires me to keep practicing.
Well, that's great. I see it completely different. And that's what I'm trying to change, because that's what I want to change.
Sure.
Is I want to see it more like you through, I honestly don't think I ever have to worry about being overconfident. I've got that.
Has anybody else ever said that to you other than me? You're a good guitar player. You're a great guitar player. You've got a great voice. Anybody else?
I'm sure there have been, but
Has anybody else? Yes or no?
yeah,
And can you think of 1 or 2 of those people right now?
sure.
Okay, you've got them in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in your mind, I want you to look at those 2 people and tell them, because you're going to walk out of here and do that. You ready?
Yep.
You're a liar. I'm not going to ask you to do it to me because it's all fake and stuff, but it's for the show. Yeah. But those 2 people, whoever has told that to you in the past, walk up to them and tell them you're a liar.
Okay.
I am no good. I can't play the guitar. I don't know what you're talking about. You're lying to me. So either they're right or you're right.
Right. Yep.
And
who's the liar now?
Right. So what you do is you shut that voice off.
Okay.
You're like,
Okay.
Scott from church. Scott.
Scotty.
Turd in the punch bowl, Scott.
Sure.
He does that. When a thought goes through his head that he knows we've talked, is irrational. When that thought, he goes, nah. Nah. He was telling me about that. He said he and his wife were driving along and he went, ah! And she said, what the heck is going on with you? And he goes, I had a thought go through my head, and Lance said, if you don't have it.
Yeah.
And so who are you going to believe?
Sure.
Yourself or them?
Yeah.
Why would they lie to you?
Right.
And so you just say thank you, put your voice out of your head, and keep doing what you're doing. So, enough therapy.
Got it.
So your next song is going to be Living on a Fear.
Well, maybe a line in the song.
Could be a line in the song.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a hit. This is going to be a hit.
Why not?
Anybody commented on it?
Why not?
We won't go there anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning in today. We didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning. I'm Lance.
I'm Mike.
And
my name's Ryan Z.A. Pastor.
And Ryan joined us this week. We're blessed to have him.
Mm-hmm.
So we will wrap it up here. We will catch you guys next week. And Merry Christmas.
See you on Tuesday.
Yeah. Ooh.
Got it in your head?